Hello, and welcome to the third episode of our fourth season of interviewing the best and emerging hip hop artists, garden interests from homestead to commercial ag, and bourbon and whiskey distillers. My name is Joe Skibby, and this is Beats, Beds, and Browns. We're pleased to continue our live stream interviews for this, our fourth season, allowing us to interview talented folks from throughout the globe. Our focus will always be Chicagoland, but there are so many talented individuals outside of the region that we'll look to expand our reach. This year, our upcoming schedule includes on April 10th, Dallas Glazik with Silver Tree Beer and Spirits. April 17th, Paul Coughlin, Taconic Distillery. April 24th, Glenda George Green with Baby Green's Family Farm. May 1st, Joel Q, champion of Chicago hip hop. And rounding out season 4 on May 8th is Jesse Stewart Jr. of Alexander James Whiskey. Let's not forget our mission to distribute 100,000 heirloom seed kits over the next 10 years. We want to introduce people to growing their own food and realizing how easy it is to get started. Whether you've got acres or just a balcony, you can start growing your own food. To date, we've given out over 2,500 seed kits nationally. Across the country, we've got orders coming in from all across the contiguous United States. Tap into our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Beats, Beds, Browns. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube to get notified of our content releases. And please, if you're out there watching, participate in the comment section throughout. We want to hear from you. And to those of you joining us after the live taping, we see you. And now, prepare yourselves for an uproarious blend of humor and beats as the acclaimed Joliet comedian Ruben Ramirez steps into the limelight as the featured guest on this episode of Beats, Beds, and Browns. Known for his razor-sharp wit, infectious charm, and a comedic style that transcends cultural boundaries, Ruben has become a rising star. With a history as an award-winning director, actor, stand-up comedian, writer, producer, and model, he's truly a do-it-all performer. With a knack for finding humor in everyday experiences and a unique perspective on life, Ruben is set to bring his laughter to the Beats, Beds, and Browns podcast. Ruben's been tapped in since season 1. He hosted our live launch concerts for both season 1 and season 2. You can see both on YouTube at Beats, Beds, Browns. All right. In this exclusive episode, we'll be sitting down with Ruben for an unfiltered and candid conversation, learning all about the world of stand-up comedy, exploring his creative process, and getting a glimpse into the experiences that has shaped his journey. Whether you're a comedy connoisseur, a music enthusiast, or simply looking for a good time, this episode promises to be a memorable fusion of Beats, Beds, Browns, and belly laughs. Ruben, bringing you to the stage. And like we always do at this time, we got to ask, where you at, where you been, and where you going, man?
What's up, Joe? How you doing, my boy? How you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, bro. Hey, that was a great bio. Did you write that?
Me and AI, we work a little tandem on that.
I might have to take that, man.
I'll send it to you for sure.
I was looking at my bio. I'm like, damn, man, I need to change these words. No, that's awesome, man. Thank you for having me, bro. I'm excited to be here, man. You already know we've been rocking since season 1. So, I mean, I've always appreciate you, always showed love. So, I appreciate you. And yeah, well, you can't say I wasn't day 1, bro. So,
absolutely, man. You were there just like our season 1 All-Stars, as one of our season All-Stars, and you've been there since the drop. We couldn't have done it without you, and the hosting for those first 2 shows as we were struggling to find our audience. We couldn't appreciate it any more than we do.
Yeah, shit, and that's running back for season 3, bro. I'm always down to, rock with y'all, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah, we got to figure that out because we were doing the live concerts and the live shows, and then we went streaming. And we actually think in the future, events is where we're going to find our niche. We've interviewed some really unique talents from state senators to Michelin-rated chefs. We think we could put on a gardening convention and expo, or
that'd be good. That'd be cool.
Midday barbecue extravaganza.
Yeah. That'd be dope, man. And I'll bring the laughs, like you said, the belly laughs, bro.
Yeah, there you go. We'll hit you up when we start planning that for sure, because I know your reach extends outside of the stage, man.
No, it's exciting, man. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for you, man. You guys been growing as well, bro. So I always like that to obviously we don't talk every day, but it's always dope to see that there's been growth in the time we haven't spoken, and it feels like I don't even know you no more, man. So it's like that's always a good thing, bro.
Yeah, no, well, definitely it was great to see you live. Red Room Comedy Hour, way up north on the north side. We drove
north, bro.
But yeah, it was fantastic because, you know, having seen you MC a show and then having seen you perform, it's a different vibe. And that was a real chill night in a packed house. And we're
No,
glad.
it was fun, man. It was fun. I like Red Room. It's very intimate, so I was able to see people's faces and everything. Now I'm getting to these bigger stages. You don't see anybody's face. You don't get to, you know, that intimacy. So I know one day when I'm able to do like arenas and whatnot, I'm gonna miss that intimacy, and I'm just enjoying it right now because I know, you know, sooner or later it's gonna happen. So till then though, man, I like rocking this way.
Without a doubt. And I mean, we can jump right in with that. You've been blowing up. You've been traveling. You've been performing outside of the state.
Yes.
You've been performing up and down the state, in and out of the
Yes.
city. Talk to me about, you know, what you've been up to, man.
I just been focused on comedy, man. I know, you know, a lot of people know me before seasons. Like, you know, I've been promoted as a writer, director, actor, producer, etc. And I honestly, I was, in my opinion, I was very mediocre at each one of those things just because it didn't blow up like I needed it to, or I didn't make the funds that I needed it to. I didn't really have reassurance that this was what I was supposed to do, you know. And I still love those things, right? It's cool, but I fell out of love with them, and I was like, man, I never really put energy into comedy. Let me see what I could do with this. Let me really just focus on this. And this was last year, and it was like it was a great decision, man. I found my niche. I found what I'm supposed to be doing. I know comedy is what I was born to do. You know, I still do acting. You know, if the opportunities come, I still do them. But you know, and I thought that was my, you know, that was my first love. That was my first bag. But the thing is, it's like, man, it's a rough time. People, they was going on strike, so I'm like, man, there's no opportunities. So I was kind of like burnt out on creating the opportunities. I was like, man, I'm throwing all this money on making film and everything like that, and it's not going. I'm like, let me see something else. And comedy just, you know, it did well, bro. I mean, I started focusing on that, and not even just well in its own. You know, my reach has grown way quicker in a matter of a year than the 8 years that I spent doing film. I've been able to, you know, open up for, you know, pretty famous people. I've met lot of people that I watch online now that I'm actually working with. You know, like just on Monday I opened up for Josh Prey, and he blowed up through skits, and you know, now we're talking to, you know, now he's talking to me about going on tour with him, and it's crazy to me. Like in the matter of a year and some change, so many opportunities have came up to where I've been putting energy into film for 8 years and nothing really happened. Like I developed cool relationships with people, but cool relationships with people don't pay my rent. So,
Right.
you know, and I'm being honest, man. You gotta put some financial backing into your town sooner or later. And I was just draining my account for film, for praying to God that something's gonna hit, and it didn't hit like I wanted it to, unfortunately. But like I said, I'm still open to acting. I'm still, you know, I'm not saying that I'm hanging it up forever and like never make another film.
Those skills don't go anywhere. I mean, you still
No.
have those as you continue to climb the comedy circuit, as you continue to get awareness and notoriety. Then all of a sudden, you're going to have a project that falls in your lap, and the hard work that you were putting in to learn the craft that you
Yeah,
focus on
and it's still
performing.
there. It's still there. It hasn't left. You know what I mean? And it's something that I'm learning. Right? I'm thinking like, oh well, it's kind of crazy because now that like my notoriety is going up, I've been given opportunities just because of who I am. You know what I'm saying? So when these things come up like that, it's like, dang, I worked so hard as an unknown actor to not get any opportunities to bust my ass to where just because I'm funny online, someone was like, yeah, here's this, man. Like, just gave it to me. I'm like, so this is all it takes. So, no, man, it's been cool, man. I've been focusing on comedy, and, you know, I'm not saying that I'm on tour right now, but I've definitely been traveling, and it's cool, man. I'm be doing a headlining date in Milwaukee. I'm doing Peoria, Rockford. I'm going to Florida later this month, Estero, Florida, and I'm doing my hometown show in Joliet. So it's been cool, man. I've been focusing on bigger things, and bigger things come. And I think that's what I hope a lot of people will take from me, man. I focused on something bigger, and bigger came. But I also had to prepare for bigger. I couldn't do those 10, 15-minute sets no more. I had to get my ass on the pen and pad, and you know what I'm saying, and create those 45 minutes to an hour that you saw me. Because for your show that you went to the earlier show, right? You went to the 8 o'clock one.
Yep.
Yeah, I did an I did an hour and 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, and it didn't feel like it. But the thing is like, you go from just doing 10-minute sets to that. It's a lot of work, But I wanted it this badly.
And a lot of give and take too, because you play off the audience and you've got both A and B for how some of those jokes work out. And some audiences, I imagine, participate a little bit more.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the thing is too, bro, believe it or not. So I saw that 8 p.m. show up, right? And 2 days before, I was like, you know what? Let me add a 10 o'clock just to see who else wants to come, right? The 10 o'clock show wasn't full. But I will say, I think I had more fun with the 10 o'clock show. It was something about the 8 o'clock
show. It might have been the 2 drinks you had during the 8 o'clock.
No, that's crazy. So, I mean, Joe knows me too, man, because his, his brand has to do with drinking. And, dude, I remember, I think season 1 or season 2, there was this one drink that you had that you were offering. I forgot what Brandon was, but dude, it was a devil. I had like 2 sips, like your girl that was serving it. It was like this much, right? And I was like, "Oh, this looks delicious." I took 2 sips. 1 sip, I'm like, "Oh my god, that was rough." Let me just try it again. Maybe I drank it wrong. Like I drank it again. I was like, "Oh no, I'm good. I'm done. And then I think you asked me on stage, which one was your favorite? I'm like, man, I only tried one. Like, it was rough, bro. So like when you saw
County Jail Distillery, yeah, we had a couple different mixed varieties from them. Nikki provided us with the drinks for the evening. That was a fun night.
Yeah, man. No, shout out to the distillery, man, too, man. They're doing their brands, and some of them are a little heavier than others, but I mean, you saw, man. I don't drink like that, so for me to take 2 was something ludicrous. I've never done it. And then the next show, there was 2 more. Dude. I was so mad. And what's crazy? I had an 11:30 show at the Laugh Factory right after my 10 o'clock show. Man. So as soon as I got off that second show, I got outside and like I started chugging water. I was chugging water. My friend from the 8 o'clock show that was heckling me a little bit, she was still there partying. And she was like, "Oh my god, how was it?" And I was like, "Oh, it was great." And she saw that I was like, "I just had 2 more shots." She was like, "Oh my god, give me a second." Her God bless her soul, she brought me pizza, something greasy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she brought me. So I started eating those mugs, and like I sobered up pretty quick. And she was like, "Here, the grease will take it all away." I'm like, "How do y'all know this?" But anyway.
There's so many similarities when we talk about the independent hip hop artists that we've interviewed and performing and journaling and being able to, work within the confines of the audience. When you're performing, obviously you're live on stage. How do you prep for that? There's no studio equivalent, right? You're not recording your sets.
No, it's open mics though, man. It's open mics. I feel like I had an attitude because I started comedy around in 2019, but I didn't take it serious till last year. It was my back burner thing. You know how I had the other things, but in the beginning, bro, I was like, man, I don't need no open mics, man. I'm good. I know, I got it naturally. I got the it factor. And then when I wanted to develop that 45-minute set, I was like, oh shit, I need to work, So luckily in my area, we have a really dope open mic at Mojo's in Plainfield, Illinois, and they're actually famous. They won awards for this open mic. So I started hitting that heavy when I was in Chicago. Anytime I had one show, if I had one show only a night, I had to make sure I hit an open mic somewhere. I was like, you got to do minimum 2 if you're in the city, not only just to make it worth your time, but to develop. You know what I'm saying? So I started hitting open mics. I started respecting the game a lot more. You know what I'm saying? And once you respect it respects you. And that's what's helped me prep. And then obviously I write a lot more. Anything that I used to do, I never used to write it down. I used to say, oh, okay, I'll store it. I'll never remember that. But the second that I think of anything from me, funny premise, it doesn't have to be a finished joke, but if it's a funny sentence, anything, I write that down immediately on my phone and I have it for later. And those are how a lot of these new jokes develop, off of 2-3 words and like, okay, what can I add to it, etc. And it's been great, man. But before I forget, you have put me on to 2 of my favorite artists.
Which ones?
A couple. Constant Alberts.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
It's funny. Like
all-star first interview. Yeah.
Well, sometimes I'll be honest. Like, I hope he sees this, even if not. But show him this clip. I want to give him his roses. Sometimes when life was rough, man, I just would yell, "Rough journey, baby." Rough journey. And I love that because it's real. Like, because life is real, and for him to be very transparent on that. Like, I love that rough journey, baby. But he says it in such a high spirit.
I got to get back to Naptown to see him, man. He's got a couple shows coming up, and
I got to support, bro, man. I got to give him his roses. So big shout out to Constant Birds, man. When I saw him live, bro, I was like, man, this kid got that factor. I love AM early morning too. Big shout out to him. He's been working ever since. That's what I love, man. That's what I love. When I said the season 1 cast, I'm like, cool, that's dope. Man, AM early mornings dropped like 4 projects ever since.
He's the hardest working man in show business, man. He's just
working,
left and right.
Sorry for the cussing, but this man is working, man. I really,
May 11th, he's hosting Crime Apple for the second time in the city. We'll get out information, and then the night before that, we're actually working with him to sponsor an event. We're going to be out distributing seed kits. It's rumored that Crime Apple will be on scene, but we can't confirm or deny that.
No, for sure. Man, I'm gonna see your tall ass there, brother. Man, like I said, man, you put me onto some really, really great artists, bro. Every artist you've had, they're dope. Those 2 stuck out to me. Eddie Yuma sticks out too. Big shout out to Eddie. You know what I'm saying? I see Eddie a lot. We have the same circle. It's weird. A lot of his friends that are comedians are my friends. So anytime Rami Abusham, Rami, Mo, and all them. Yeah, Timber 05, like they're all really cool. Eddie. So anytime that they have a show and I'm on the show, Eddie's there. So we're like, hey, what's up, bro?
That's amazing.
So yeah, man, it's crazy. It's a small world, but before I forget, I definitely wanted to give a shout out to Constant Birds, AM early morning, and Eddie Yuma for sure, bro.
Absolutely. Stay tuned. We share all their drops on our Instagram stories, and we're constantly talking with AM about how we can further the hip hop community in Chicago. He's a tireless advocate, not only releasing his own projects, but bringing other people on. He was part of the
that man is that's a fucking workhorse, man. That guy, like I said, I feel like he drops a project and then he don't even let it sit. He was like, all right, I got an 18-track EP coming out.
And he's fire on stage, man. He gets up, you like angry. You like, man, I don't want to mess with that guy. You talk to him afterwards. He's cool.
He's a how do you say? He's a gentle giant, bro.
Fire and brimstone up on that stage, though.
Yeah, no, man. Big shout out to him, man. He's good people. He actually had me host one of his events before too. He throws really dope events, man. It was hilarious. So it's a little story time.
Yeah, got graffiti in the background, and
So I hosted one of his events. It was for him, and he had an album drop with another artist, and it was funny, bro, because they were giving out edibles, and I didn't know they were edibles.
Oh no!
I'm like, you make a Rice Krispie, and knowing that I'm big, bro, and I love Rice Krispies, I took 2 or 3 of them.
Oh no!
And because they were small, right? And I was like, man, these little bite size. I'm like, and then they're like, relax, bro. That was an edible.
Up on stage, yeah.
It was hilarious. No, so it didn't hit me, right? And I was like, man, those edibles were weak. If those are edibles, man, I'm good with it. I'm good. Man, as soon as I got home, I was stuck. I was like, it was hilarious, bro. I'm like, oh my God, they heard me. The edible heard me talk crap about it.
Never take candy from strangers, man.
Oh my God, it was hilarious because they were just throwing them out. Like, I'm a big cannabis connoisseur, man. I'm actually repping Primitive right now. They're based out of Michigan.
Okay.
They actually sponsored my Niles, Michigan comedy weekend in my green room, and they gave me tons of pre-rolls. It was crazy. I'll even blur it out just to make sure it's not. But yeah, Primitive. They're based out of Michigan. The owners are actually 2 ex-Detroit Lions players.
Okay. So, it's us Indiana folk. We got to crisscross through Illinois and Michigan. So drive up to Primitive.
Oh, dude, don't get me started about Indiana. I had a bunch of friends in South Bend that came through to my show, and the thing is, they wanted to hang out in Indiana, right? And it was hilarious because I was in Michigan that weekend, right? So I was so used to just openly smoking, like no issue, right? Bro, I go to Indiana and I'm in their patio and I light one up. And the cop that was at the area, they're like, hey, like, you can't do that here. And I was like, aren't we in Michigan? My friend taps it. He was like, oh, no, bro, we in Indiana. And I was like, hey, no, man, look. And they told that they were cool with the cop. They were like, hey, look, he's a comedian. He's performing in Michigan. Like, he got taken care of over there. You know, it's all good. He was like, just put it out, man. I was like, man, like, that's crazy.
That puts them in a weird, like, enforcement area where you're just literally across an imaginary line, right? That's
it literally is, bro. Because like when I obviously I'm not fond of the area, so I'm like going using Google Maps and stuff, and it would be like, "Welcome to Indiana, welcome to Michigan, welcome to Indiana." I'm like, I just came to Fazoli's. What
I just drove back and forth.
Yeah. Like what? And so it was funny, man. It was a good little story, but it's crazy, bro. Like they're like Nazis out there about it. I'm like, man, I couldn't live in Indiana, and then same thing in Wisconsin. It's the same thing in Wisconsin. I don't know, man. I like it. If there's one reason I like Illinois is because we can
conservative states, right? It's I think we got a super majority of Republicans out here.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin's the same thing. I think
Yeah.
Even there's even some legislators out here that are going into Michigan, filming podcasts, inhaling, and
nice.
And so there's advocates, but it's tough
They
until the federal
more,
government takes care of it, right?
Yeah, I hope, man. Somebody got to take care of it. Obviously, Biden isn't, so I hope Big T or whoever wins, bro, just comes in and says, "Here is free weed or federal, great weed." Make sure everything. Because dude, Indiana, like I said, South Bend is very mini Chicago-like. So when I was just kicking it over there, I felt very Illinoisian, Chicagoan. So I was like, "Oh, cool, man." No, bro.
And we're Northwest Indiana, so we're a suburb of Chicago. When I used to live in western suburbs of Chicagoland, it would be further from Naperville to downtown than it is where we're at to downtown. So we're a suburb of Chicago, no matter what anybody wants to say. And everybody claims Indiana pride, but then they want Chicago healthcare and Chicago restaurants.
Yeah, man, for real. What part of what suburb you live in? Naperville?
No, we were in Glendale Heights.
Glendale Heights.
That's what I grew up in.
You're not far from Wheaton, right?
Yeah, not far at all.
No, that's where my lady stayed at. So I'm in Wheaton pretty often. They got a couple cool spots over there. But yeah, no, Wheaton's very chill, quiet. But yeah, and once she's put me on a lot of these bougie areas, bro. I go to some of those areas, and those houses are beautiful, bro.
Oh my god, yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, speaking of the suburbs, there's a bunch of people in my life that I end up talking to and becoming homies with down the road that like we crossed and we didn't even really know it. And you're talking about Adam at IndieDB. And in my Arlington Heights world, I crossed a number of photographers, Tim Koo, who works with IndieDB, and I met with Adam, but have yet to do any productions out of that space. But just the creative.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, no, man, it's a small world, dude. It's so small, bro. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. So, I know again there was a lot of the different acting and directing and managing that we talked about, but how did mom and dad react to telling them comedy was your performing was going to be your preferred choice?
Well, they obviously they were cool with the acting, right? In the beginning, obviously, like my dad was wondering, hey, when you gonna Latino parents, right? I'm being honest. I'm gonna be very transparent. They're very blue collar, right? They're very blue collar, So when I told my dad I was dropping out of college to become an actor, he was like, "What? Like, no, like, go to be a police officer. Go be a police officer. Go get your pension. Go get your, good pay." Da, da, da. I'm like, "Nah, I want to be happy," And they're like, "Happy? Happy don't pay the bills, So it's like in the beginning, it was my dad didn't see the vision. My mom was always supporting me regardless, but my dad didn't see the vision. But then when he saw me in like my first short film and my first that's when he saw that and he was like, you know what? Okay, I can see it, And then recently when I turned into comedy, he was like, so what happened to acting? And I told him, I was like, I think I fell out of love with it. I wasn't as dedicated. I wasn't, as excited. And but I think comedy is my thing. And he was like, all right, let's see it. And so for the first time last year, it was around June, I got to perform in front of him and my mom and my brother. Nice. For the first time ever in a sold out room, and I murdered it. And like afterwards, like my dad was like ecstatic. He was like, "Oh my god!" Like obviously, he was like, "Look, not to be, how do you say, bro? I'm drawing a blank. Not to be favorable of you just because you're my son, but you were the best in the whole people were spitting their drink. People were he saw things that I didn't see because he was towards the back."
Nice.
And so he was very happy. He gave me it was one of those good dad son moments. My mom, she spoke words of affirmation, and I just, they got my back 100% for sure. And my dad, they're my biggest cheerleaders. Like anytime I go to Kansas City, Missouri to visit them, everybody on the block knows who I am. Anytime we go to a restaurant that they go to often, they already know who I am because my dad speaks up, shows them my work, and my dad shows his coworkers my content all the time. And it was cool. One time, my recent roast battle one that I went against David Donick on the roast battle Chicago, that was viral. It's actually going viral as we speak. It was at 700K views yesterday. Now it's at 864 on TikTok. So
happy for you. Let's talk about that for a minute. I know, we always talk about on this show the concept of an overnight success, which is a myth, right? It never happens.
For sure.
Talk about you're starting out, you got your hands at a lot of things, maybe not doing all of them to their max potential. Yeah. And now you spend a year doing comedy and you got content with more than 500,000 views. Like, talk to me about that journey and the dedication and the repetitions to get there and what it took.
But it's a humbling experience, bro, because like I was saying, like, not to cut you off or anything, but I was like, the roast battle that went viral, his coworker actually showed him. He didn't even see it yet.
So he wasn't even managing.
So they're like, "Is this your son?" And they're like, "His name is Ruben Ramirez." And you imagine he's like, "Yeah, where did you see that at?" And then my dad told me, like, "Hey, my coworker showed me your stuff before because my dad's adamant. He shares my shit like this." And but he was like, "Oh my god, that's cool," So it was a moment like that. But the thing is, you'll have moments like these, right? So I'll get this. And I just hit another million on my Meek Mill little video that I did. Nice. 1.7 million on TikTok. You get those, right? But if you see the ones that I post in between sometimes, 400, 1,000. So it's a game that will bring you up, but you'll get humbled real quick.
What do you add on TikTok right now for followers?
Followers, I'm at 16.5, and then Instagram 11. Nice. But it's growth, man.
It's like every day, multiple times a day.
I try to. It's you know what? I used to do like 2-3 times in a day, but it didn't really move. I'll be honest, it didn't move like I wanted it to. It's just giving people different outlets. For example, what you see on my Instagram, you're not gonna see on my TikTok too often. Like you'll see the similar content, but I'm big on doing skits on Instagram, and then TikTok will be my comedic reels as much as possible. And then my stories will be a lot different. And Instagram, I'm promoting, we're tagging people, stuff like that. On TikTok, I'm trying to do more personal. Like, hey, where y'all from? Hey,
you messing with Facebook at all? Or?
No, Facebook is cool, but it boxes you in. It boxes you in. So I tell a lot of people that promote on Facebook heavy, I'm like, hey, Facebook is cool, but it boxes you into your friends list. And obviously, people can follow you, but that algorithm is so whack. I'm a continuous 100 like post person, right? Whatever, but it doesn't reach strangers. I love strangers.
Sure,
strangers pay my bills.
You got to pay for those impressions, yeah.
And so it's like, no. So let me go on TikTok. I tell people, go on TikTok. You're gonna be strangers that love you, and those strangers are gonna try to get you into their area. They're gonna they'll support you. They'll buy merch. They'll buy. So I always tell people focus on that. But the thing is, it's like you gotta be consistent, but don't blow your brains out with it. You don't gotta post 4 or 5 times in a day. The people that post 4 or 5 times in a day, they're set up because that's what their job is. They do that 24 hours. To us, if we have to do an 8-hour shift, 2-3 times in a day sounds exhausting. So once I am able to go part-time at my actual day job, that's when you'll probably see me post a lot more. But I'm more focused on creating good content rather than quantity. It's quality over quantity any day of the week. Yeah. Like you said. So I have two videos that are hitting hard right now, right? I've maybe posted 2 or 3 between them. I'm not trying to catch the algorithm on both of them, see if those will blow up too. I'm letting them do their thing, but in between, I'm making sure I'm posting my stories. I'm commenting back to people that are roasting me. Like the roast battle one, all the people are saying Fat Boy won this, and I'll just respond my name's not Fat Boy, bitch. What I'm saying? So and people are like, "Oh my god, you responded!" I'm like, "Yeah, bro, it's my content," So it's cool, man, and it's you got to know your brand too, bro. You got to know your brand. I feel like people don't know what their brand is. People don't know what their market is. People don't know who's gonna love them, right? I mean, you literally have your market on your logo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you understand that more than a lot of people, bro. Me, I understand my market is raunchiness. I'm out like people love, Mexican, Latino, white, black, anybody's gonna love raunchy stuff. I mean, I'm a raunchy comedian. I always let people know that. I'm like, if you want me at your show, just
Don't
know.
bring your kids, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely,
Me and
bro.
my wife were blushing.
You're like, remember when I used to do that back in the day?
Oh, threw out my
Oh,
back last time.
also, man, big shout out to your wife, bro. Anytime I see you doing an
I
event,
heard the
she's
kids
right
wanted to
there.
say hello too. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so big shout out to her. Tell her say hi. She's a very sweet woman. Like I said, man, anytime I see you do an event, she's right there with you.
Man,
And
she's a ride or die in khakis, you know.
no, that's dope, man. Hey, look, I finally found mine, bro, and so
I'm happy for that.
it's cool, man. It's cool, bro. But definitely big shout out to her. I realize how big important it is to have a partner that supports you, because I have a lot of friends that don't have that, and it's crazy to me. Like, this guy almost broke down in front of me, this comedian, because he saw how, like, my girlfriend rocked my merch. She was there, she would make sure I was good if I needed something to drink. He almost broke down because he was like, man, my wife don't do that. My wife actually speaks down that I do this. My wife tells me when I'm gonna give it up. I'm like, dang, bro. I'm like, that's an instant divorce for me. But that I couldn't imagine, man. So big shout out to your wife, bro. We always gotta give love to the people that love us, man. So
Absolutely. So we've kind of covered some of the performing things and things you've got going on, but when you have a set and you're live performing, right? Other than filming and cutting that content up, is there an after to that piece, or is that the after? Like, you're not putting whole shows online on Spotify or things like that. It's
not yet. Those are plans in the future, right? Because definitely. So, like, as we were talking about earlier, I'm traveling a lot more now. I'm starting to do a lot of these, and I want to post my dates, but I don't want to make people think that I'm on tour. I'm not doing tour talk right now. I'm just visiting. Literally, it's what the flyer's gonna say. This ain't a tour. I'm just visiting.
nice.
And because tour talk is definitely 2025. I already have Underground Laugh Lounge, and now Michigan show that I did. They're having me back the first weekend in January. So the fact that I have a date already in 2025, that motivated me. I was like, okay, well, if I'm already in 2025, let me, dip into to Q3 and Q4. We're barely in Q2, but I'm already thinking, okay, let's set something up.
Yeah,
So my purpose of hitting Peoria, my purpose of hitting these other cities is to see how well I do in these markets, right? If I do well, okay, cool. 2025, they're gonna have a date again, right? I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna add it and make sure it's a tour, right? And in that time period, I definitely want to film a comedy special next year. I want to record an album, just because I have enough now. I have enough jokes. When we first started, I maybe had 3, 4 jokes in the can, and like, that's not an album, right? That's an EP. That's so
yeah.
it's like, and it's gonna be like 8 minutes long. Like, no, like, I want to do a comedy album that's at least 30 minutes long, and people can listen to my jokes on Pandora. People can listen to my jokes on Sirius XM. People, other outlets too, not just Spotify, iTunes, all that. But that's the goal. To not even that, just that, because at that point I'll have a bigger platform then, right? And I want to release that album when I'm able to release those jokes as well. Like, I went on a run in Chicago for like 3, 4 months. I had like 8 headlining shows, and luckily, by the grace of God, all of them were selling out and whatnot. But the thing is, a lot of those people came back. They were hearing a lot of the same stuff, and after the last Red Room show, I was like, these people really got my back. But like, I need to have theirs now. Like, I'm not gonna do a headlining show in Chicago till June. Get 5 months to develop something new.
It's writing in the
And,
book and figuring it all
yeah.
out.
So I'm doing a weekend at the Comedy Bar. I'm doing 2 shows on June 7th and 2 shows on June 8th. And big shout out to them. That's my first like big weekend in the city. At our actual club. And so at that point, I'm like, you know what? Since my peoples, they supported me, they showed me love. Like, I need to do something back for them. You know what I'm saying? I need them to be able to come to a new show for new jokes, new refreshers, because that's my way of showing that, like, hey, look, your boy been working. I haven't forgot about y'all. I'm just trying to make sure I'm a better me than I was in January. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they deserve. People that love something, they deserve new jokes. They deserve a new experience. They deserve a good time, man. And it was cool, man. I'm a lot of people's first comedians they've seen, so they deserve it, bro. So I do it for me. I do it for. But the thing is like, you got to remember people that put energy into you, and how do you keep them as fans?
Yeah.
Are they gonna remember my Lori Lightfoot joke from 2-3 years ago, or I gotta move on? Lori Lightfoot ain't in office no more. Okay, who do I? You know what I'm saying? You know that joke, yeah. So it's like, all right, now I gotta develop something new. Now I gotta develop something, you know. So it's all a stage, bro. It's all realizing where you're at, where you
Where do
want
you find most of your inspiration? Is it politics? Is it current events? Is it pop culture?
It's life, bro. Um, I think I look back at a lot of the dark moments in my life, dark moments with women, dark moments with it, and I just look and I make funny stories out of it. I'm developing a story about like my time when I was a mule because I was almost homeless, and those are dark times. But the thing is, I bring them back and I want to put light into them because it's like I know somebody out there's gonna relate, but not even just that. But I wanted to see like, damn, Ruben was like struggling that bad. I was like, he looked happy, he looked good, like, you know, and stuff like that. And it's inspiration out of life, man. I try to do some current events stuff, but I feel like I'm always too late. Like now, I feel like if I try to do a P Diddy joke, I'd be too late. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm late to the current event stuff pretty
Yeah,
often.
is that the cycle of Twitter and just how quickly things get
It's
processed nowadays?
wild. Well, you know, like I look, Caitlin Clark just happened a couple days ago, and I already feel that I'm too late because the comedians already boom boom made Caitlin Clark jokes and stuff like that. I'm
And
like,
she's
dang,
got two more games maybe to get to
yeah,
the
I'm
point,
like,
right? Yeah.
they already know what it is. So it's like, dang, I gotta be quicker than that, like the State Farm guy. But like,
That's good. So sticking with the personal stories that don't
yeah,
change and are true to your authentic
yeah,
self.
and no one can say that I stole it from them because it happened to me.
Yeah.
That's one thing, bro. There's people that steal jokes, and there's one thing, people can't steal an experience from me. You know what I'm saying? So if I ever hear another comedian mention something that close to it, I'm like, okay, I know that he's biting off of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did find a comedian. I did a show with a comedian that bit off my dating app joke like hard, and I was like, he knows I'm here, right?
Call him out on it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was performing while I arrived. I had two other shows came through, and he in mid joke, he saw me, and he was like, you know, he had to look like, "What's up, bro?" And I'm like, "Dude, that dating app, that no one does it in the same. Everyone has a dating app joke, but this one's particular. Mine that I talk about, like the left swipe, the right swipe. He did the same thing, and I was like, and I didn't know whether to be pissed or like happy that someone bit off me.
Right.
I
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right?
Yeah, so I just dabbed him at him. I'm like, hey man, good set, like good set because it was my shit. But yeah,
Yeah. You never know when you're going to be in the circuit with him again, and you kind of got
no,
to keep
no,
hitting.
we're not in each other's face too often, but it was funny, man, because I did that joke, right? Like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it too, and I'm gonna get way more laughs out of it, and I just wanted to do it to the fact that like, all right, they're not gonna remember him. Let me hit this. So I hit it. No one remembered that he even mentioned it. So
Nice.
it's one of those things. It was like, all right, cool, whatever. But it's dude, that game shiesty like that, Joe. The game shiesty. I don't know if in like the Browns world, like if people see a model of a bottle, if they see something like, hey, that looks a lot close to this whiskey or this.
Well, it's funny, you know, you see the famous rap biting that goes on and literally
Yeah,
verbatim. In the Browns world, you may be familiar with a brand called Uncle Nearest.
yeah.
Well, Uncle Nearest was apparently in service to the guy who did Jack Daniels, and that was actually Uncle Nearest's recipe.
Oh,
Not only are they currently, you know, one of the fastest growing global whiskey brands, but their legacy is Jack Daniel's legacy. And, you know, thankfully they're doing well on their own. But talk about biting. The
yeah. No,
original
that's what I'm
biting,
saying. Like I knew it happened in music, so I was like, okay, what did it happen in the Brown world? Do they see how a bottle looks, and they're like, hey, that's our design, or but that's even crazier. Like the
yeah.
fact that
And, you know, it's a mash bill, right? So you're talking about how you mix three grains together. So there's process and everything. Everybody, you know, claims that my distillation process creates the unique flavor. My oak charring is different than
yeah,
yours. And so there's a lot that goes into it, but that's, you know, ridiculous story
yeah.
about somebody profiting off somebody else's ideas.
No, well, the fact that he's able to create another brand and still be successful with it, that's
Yeah,
even
female,
crazy.
Fawn Weaver. Yeah, she's CEO. It's amazing. So I think it's a husband and wife team, but they're killing it. So it's great to hear. So I know Browns isn't your thing. beats. I've heard you talk hip hop, man. You got knowledge and history. Who do you like? Do you get to hand select your pre-show DJ set, or
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. You gotta set the mood right, man. People don't come to my show and then think they're gonna hear Three White Stripes, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, respectfully, I like Three White Stripes, but they're not. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear Bad Bunny. They want to, you know what I'm saying? Because my crowd, they like to party, so they want to get in the mood. They're gonna hear Bad Bunny. They're gonna obviously hear Daddy Yankee. They're gonna hear some rap. I'm really big right now. My favorite artist right now, easily, Big X to plug. Do you listen to him?
I'm not familiar. No, I've been so deep in the local scene and hard to keep up with that, let alone anything else.
Drop the local scene for one day, bro. And
what is it, Big X?
Big X the plug. He's out of Texas. His flow is insane. Like, his beats, amazing. His producer's amazing. So I'm big on Big X. So they're gonna be here. They're gonna hear Big X the plug. I like, obviously, yeah. You said you're not into really the mainstream right now. Yeah. Mexican OT is dope too.
Okay.
I'm listening to a lot of Peso Pluma. You should listen to Peso Pluma too, bro. He's dope, man.
No, we just keep a list, and then when we're driving, we're listening to people we haven't heard, people we can explore, and then the favorites that we've picked up and interviewed along the way. It's
no, man, it's so yeah, definitely got a playlist, bro. Different types of music. But Peso Pluma, Bad Bunny, Big X, Mexican OT. Yeah, I mean, I ride with them mainly, but it's and you'll hear a Tupac song here and there on the playlist. But yeah, no, it's cool, man. It's one of those things because I listen to corridos a lot. It's a type of Mexican folklore telling music. It's very very story written, so I listen to a lot of stuff like that too.
One of my favorite stories, I used to live in Texas, and there's a prison that's just west of downtown Dallas, and we would ride our bikes through downtown district for dollar beers and then end up at the bar, and they'd have quarter games of pool and $2 Miller Genuine drafts. So we'd ride our bikes there, stay till 2, 3 in the morning. They're playing Tejano music. We're dancing with them. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I just love live entertainment.
For sure.
Such a vibe.
Yeah, live. So I'm taking my girl to Lala for the first time.
Oh, nice. It's
my first time too. We're there to see a band. They're called Cannons. They're very vibey. I don't know. It's my best way to explain it.
Okay.
They're very vibey. They're very tropical house slash indie slash like it's hard to explain. They're really good though.
Yeah.
We're gonna see them, and then that Saturday Skrillex is playing a dubstep legend. Metro Boomin and Future will be on that Saturday too.
Nice.
And I'm thinking about Thursday. Thursday has Big X plug coming in, but
yeah, man. Any of the after shows, or you're a midnight guy? Yeah?
I don't know, man. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see if my girl can hang. That's the thing. It's crazy, man. The hotel rates for that weekend. I thought it was gonna be smooth, man. No, I ain't find nothing cheap, but I had to do it just because we're gonna be in the city already. I didn't feel like driving back an hour.
We were talking about kids earlier, and trust me, I don't want to travel the week of spring break when everything's 30 to 40% more expensive, man.
Bro, it's wild, man, and I can't imagine that. You were where were you at again? You were
Arizona.
Yeah. See, like what part of Arizona were you at?
So we were in Mesa, and hiking in the Superstition Mountains, and
well, hiking's free, so that's
we had to find it. The Renaissance Fair wasn't. Let me tell you.
Wait. There's a Renaissance Fair over there?
Oh yeah, it's beginning of February to the end of March. All they do it is 2.5 months because it's so hot out there.
Yeah,
they got to do it in their spring,
bro,
and it was.
This is something you might not know about me, bro. But I'm an old school nerd, bro. My girl took me to medieval times for the first time.
Oh, nice,
bro! I was in there, bro. Like, thou shalt not, dude. I always wanted to go to medieval times growing up, but we couldn't afford it.
I need some more wine, wench.
I was like, bring me another dragon leg. Like, it was just chicken. Like, I was into it, bro. Like, I'm a big I like it's a video game called Skyrim. It's dragons and all that, it's potions, and I'm into that. And so my girl's like, she surprised me and took me over there. I was like, nah, you about to see a whole different room, man. I was a little kid in a candy store. I was interacting with everybody, like getting knighted and everything. I was like, bro, yes,
we gotta have that stuff, man. It keeps us young.
No, for sure, man. I'm excited, man, because we're definitely gonna hit the there's a Renaissance Fair in Wisconsin.
Yep.
I'm gonna be going to that one this year for sure. And I told him, like, hey, look, I'm dressing up. I'm not going.
You're coming with a leather sleeve. When you
I was like, dude, I'm gonna have some type of little patent right here saying I'm a part of a gang from the the BC 1800s. But yeah, I was like, and if you see me LARP with people too, mind your business.
Nice.
So I'm into all that, bro. So it's cool.
What about gardening? You mess with plants outside of
You know what's funny? So last night, so my girl's big into the green, right? I got her an orchid. She has a bunch of plants, flowers, right?
Ooh.
It's not like gardening per se, but I just got my first little. It's so weird. I don't know what they called it. It's a plant that's very easy to take care of. All I need, they gave me a garden bed, like a soil bed, and all I got to do is water it, and then obviously put it in the light, and it grows. It's some type of mint. I don't know. I gotta look for it. It's somewhere around here. But
I'm already don't forget to sign you and your girlfriend up for the free seed kit.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna be planting stuff everywhere, bro. It's cool, man. I'm excited to water it and see if it grows. I don't know, but that's my little dabble in the plant world for sure.
Nice. Well, I don't know if you're up for it or not, but since you're an artist and a performer, I think we can go hard hitters and wig splitters if you're up for it.
What's that mean?
Yeah, so that's our quiz question and answer. Quick answer, yes or no, this or that. And,
yeah, let's do it.
All right, sounds good. Let's get the.
Oh, that's dope.
Of hard hitters and wig splitters, this or that, quick yes or no question answer session. So, you ready, Ruben?
Let's do it.
All right. Beef or no beef?
Beef.
Beef. Cash or Queens?
Cash.
Big black truck or 6'4"?
6'4". Come on, man.
Edibles or flour?
Edibles.
Jay-Z or Drake?
Drake.
Bears or
that one hurt you, bro. That one. I thought you were like.
No, it's funny. One of the first interviews we had, I was asking everybody their influence, and I got teenage kids, so I got away from going to concerts and all this, and the guy gave performers that were in the last 5 or 6 years, and I'm just like, I was thinking he was going to come back with my old school guy, like my hip hop Rushmore, and
yeah.
Jay-Z or Drake. That's way past my prime. So my Mount Rushmore, I got Nipsey Hussle, LL Cool J, Mos Def, and Ice Cube. So we got some
R.I.P. Nipsey for sure.
Yeah, rest in power, baby. All right, Bears or Colts?
Bears.
Cubs or Sox?
Sox.
I knew that one.
You're like a Mexican. So
no, I've seen it. I've seen other interviews. I knew that one. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Fuck. A burger's a sandwich, right?
You tell me. We're interviewing you, not me.
Nah. Hot dog ain't a sandwich.
No sandwich. All right. So then the Chicago question: ketchup or no ketchup?
No ketchup, bro.
No ketchup. All right. Hot or mild?
Hot.
You
know what? Actually, I take that back. Both. Can I say both?
Yeah.
There's nothing better than the Italian beef dip with mild and hot peppers on that mug. So.
Absolutely. Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan, bro.
Without a doubt.
Michael Jordan, baby.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel, man. Big Black Panther fan.
Nice. Closing out the gauntlet. He survived so far. The final question: vanilla or chocolate?
Bro, there's just some days that vanilla hits, and there's just some days where chocolate is out this world.
Okay, I like it.
I'll say chocolate, bro. I'm gonna go with chocolate.
Day to day. That's all right. That's a good answer. Fantastic. Well, you survived the gauntlet. That's hard hitters and wig splitters. Thank you for joining us. As we conclude the interview today, I'd love to stay and chat for an hour. I want to be respectful of your time, but tell us what you have going on, what's coming up, and where people can see you next.
Yeah, man. So right now it's just focusing on building for Q3 and Q4. Right now we're at Q2. We're planning for what's to come and what we have set up so far. It's pretty good, man. I tell people, man, from a year of focus, you really genuinely put down everything else and see where you're at in life and see what you want to do. And I don't like to say I manifested it, because manifestation, that word got murdered to me because I saw a lot of lazy people kept saying manifestation, and they felt like manifestation was just they could say it and the universe will give it to them. No work. I'm like, no, I didn't manifest this. I worked hard for this. I made this happen. I told God personally that I want this to happen, and He gave me the free will to pursue it. So I tell people, man, that word, I don't like that word at all, just because I've seen too many lazy people say it. But I worked hard for this.
I got an abundance mindset. Millions are going to come my way, right?
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Share this if you. How, bro? You don't even have a Roth IRA.
Yeah.
Like, you talking about millions, and you don't even have a bank account that builds itself. Like, shut up. Like, like it's one of those things, man. So it's like, I'm good, man. But I got a lot of cool things working forward to, man. I'm working hard at it. I got a good team behind me, and that's one thing I need. A lot of people need to understand that it's not just me; it's a team. I have a good squad behind me. I got good videographers that are shooting my content. I got good people in my ear as far as my friends in the comedy game that are putting me in good positions to perform with them. They have higher platforms than me, but I developed those relationships through just being a good person and showing them that I respect the game as well, and pursuing it at a level that I am right now, but also making sure that I respect the game. And I got my openers that are frequently with me, Cecilia Gonzalez, my boy Manny Garza, my best friend growing up. So I got people with me. It ain't just me. I look good, but they make me look better, bro. So big shout out to my squad. Big shout out to 773 Breezy. He shoots my content. Big shout out to Ref Productions. They shoot my comedy content. I got a Legends Barbershop that with me that rock with me heavy too. They help me out a lot with my events in Crest Hill. And like I said, I got a great team behind me. I got a couple people putting in words for me. Got an agency out in Florida, Venturino Talent Agency. They've been helping me out. I got my brother out here, Gamal Diaz from Demon Hour Comedy, putting me in positions to start moving out the state, maneuvering our brands together. Yeah, so it's going good, man. We're planning for the future. Obviously, I talked about I got Florida. I got Estero, Florida, about 20 minutes away from Naples. This later this month. I got my hometown Joliet show. Next month I got Peoria. The month after that I'll have Milwaukee. I'll have Janesville, Wisconsin too.
Tell us where to tune in. What are your handles? I know.
__ Ruben Ramirez. So yeah, and Rockford in September. I did get word about me headlining a couple comedy festivals out on the West Coast. Those are in Seattle and one's in Seattle and one's in Portland. So I'll be hitting the West Side towards the end of the year.
That's amazing, man. It couldn't be happening to a better guy. Again, a down one from day one. Count me in the Ruben Ramirez army. Anything we can ever do to cross paths and help you out, we're more than happy to do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to close out the show. I'm going to pull you out. If you can hang out for another couple minutes, we can cut it up as we
Good,
stream. All right, man.
All right, brother.
Thanks for your time, Ruben.
Yes.
All right. That was Ruben Ramirez, comedian, down one since day one. Been a partner to Beats, Beds, and Browns, helped us launch our season 1 and season 2 concert. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate Ruben for tuning in. If you haven't registered to get your free seed kits, beatsbedsbrowns.com. We currently have dill, pumpkin, and acorn squash. We're giving them till they're gone. And again, to date, we've given out over 2,500 seed kits across the country. Tap in, happy planting, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.